My name's Alicia, and I'd love to take a moment to introduce myself to you. I am the founder of Inspiration is Life, and I'm a firm believer in what is possible when we live with self love as the foundation in all that we dare to create from our heart. I am very dedicated to supporting those ambitious professionals who are ready to lead with dedication and, most importantly, commitment in their goals. Now, success isn't about only thriving in one area. So it really is about taking responsibility for being the author of your own happiness, your own well being, and to pursue your passions on purpose. We all have a gift to inspire others, and we truly get to live in a way that is authentic to our heartfelt expression. Success is not about attaining or achieving anything outside of ourselves. It truly is about honoring a deep place of integrity to our health, our wealth, our love, our self expression. We all have needs, and it's essential that we take the time to prioritize our needs, to meet ourselves with love, to meet ourselves with compassion and grace and commitment in our purposes. The three P's of happiness: pursue, passion, purpose. And this is available for all. Each and every one of us have a gift, and it's through coming home, through taking personal responsibility, that one can really awaken to their pure potential, to being the author of their reality, to let go of being a victim to their circumstances, and to truly remove all barriers that stand in the way of what your heart believes to be true. Now, it's been very important for me to create a platform where passionate professionals can come home to what it means to them to live with a heart centered vision. It is up to us to do all that brings us joy. We are the only one that's with us every single day. And yet we give so much time away to excuses, distractions, poor boundaries, people pleasing, fear. So, if you're a leader who is really ready to believe in their ability to achieve optimal productivity, and productivity is not about doing, productivity is about coming home to being. How much can you be? How much can you feel your way through the present time, leading with your intuition, and to follow that call of your heart? Now, I know there's a lot about hustle culture and go, go, go and make it happen, being on the grind. And that just leads to cycles of burnout, feeling overwhelmed, waiting for tomorrow, getting tied into patterns of perfectionism. And at the end of the day, you find yourself not getting anything done. So I really wanted to create a space where other like minded individuals who are really ready to lead with a vision that is around a sense of purpose and passion, and to truly believe in what they can achieve in their health, their wealth, their love, their self expression. I wanted to create a safe space to where we can come home to that as a community, as a tribe, to uplift, to support, to nurture each other, because we're not made to walk this journey alone. We are here to thrive and to be in community. And it's through allowing yourself to lend out a helping hand, to allow yourself to reach with what is within reach to support yourself each step of the way, instead of being all the way out into the future and all the way into the past and allowing fear to write the story that maybe you find yourself continuing to live on repeat. And it doesn't mean that every belief that we have is serving us at this point in time. We experience things early on in life that maybe start to define the way that we experience the world for us to protect ourselves. And at the same time, we also believe that we can lead ourselves in another way that is in resonance with what our heart believes to be true. So I wanted to create a program and a platform for passionate professionals to truly come home to what it means to live in balance in their health, their wealth, their love, their self-expression, to truly do all that brings them joy. My promise to you as a mentor is I will support you in getting clarity on what is important and to setting your goals. This will allow you to really be held when it comes to leading with integrity to what is in alignment to your best self. Now, being able to address and look at all the layers mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually are key to optimizing your ability to show up consistently and from a place of devotion and commitment to your reasons over your excuses. My promise is that I will support you in addressing and pinpointing the fears and the limiting beliefs that no longer serve what your heart believes to be true. It is essential that I guide you on this journey, and I feel so grateful to be able to hold space for you to awaken to your ability to be your own healer, your sage, your counsel, and to truly trust in living from your space of intuition and inner knowing, trusting in your ability to succeed in your heart's wildest dreams, and to know that you are enough to do that thing that brings you joy, to do that thing that is in service to your health, your wealth, your love, your self expression, to be able to stand in your truth. My promise is to support you in confidently leading with what your heart desires and to allow yourself to trust in the process. So, if this sounds like you and you're stuck in a rut, you're living life on repeat, and you're afraid to make those changes, you don't want to fail, and you keep making stories of justifications, which only lead to avoid feeling disappointed, then this is definitely something that I would love to support you with in overcoming feeling worried on how you're going to accomplish everything that you desire. There is more than enough time for you to prioritize your needs. Time is yours to create. So if you doubt your ability to succeed and you're tired of feeling like you aren't expressing yourself to the fullest, well, I'm here to support you in making those changes. Only you can take personal responsibility for yourself and to get in relationship with those stories, those justifications. Because at the end of the day, if there's value on the other end, well, only you are the one that's going to be able to move you through that resistance. And if it's simply because you want to avoid feeling the disappointment, the loss, the lack of, the afraid to fail, being afraid of your failure, well, the only way to allow yourself to experience something new is to make a choice to lead from your heart, to let go of the past, to forgive, to move forward, and to understand your stories, to understand the excuses, and to get into relationship through having integrity and personal responsibility. And if you find that you don't know where to make those changes and you're afraid to go to those spaces, I invite you to lean deeply into what your heart is asking of you. Where are you feeling called and guided to show up from a place of inner knowing? When we can start to let go of all the outside noise of the stories of what others have told us who we should be or what we should do, or the sense of obligation that we carry and the ways that we show up because we can't say no and we can't say yes. And every time that you say yes to something that you want to say no, the only person that you're saying no to is yourself. So if you're worried about how to accomplish what you desire, it's up to you to look deeply within with acceptance and vulnerability to get honest. And it's from that place of expressing yourself to and through yourself, you're able to share that and to lead as a new leading role in your own story. And at times when we experience trauma, and it can look like shock trauma, something happening too soon, too fast, or we can experience something more on a developmental scale, right? 1 to our 3, 5, 7 years, first years of life are so important, all the way up to 12. We develop main stories, and it's what was role modeled to us through our experience. And personally, I can speak on my own experience of being bullied and feeling rejected, right? So there was doubt in, can I feel safe in being seen in my self expression? Are people going to judge me? And at the end of the day, every time I'm afraid of others judging me, I'm judging myself. And it's when we can come home to self love, we can have more of grace, more compassion for our process, to coming home to remembering our essence, our joy, our self expression, our ability to do all that we desire to do and to do it with love because it's worth it. So if you find yourself constantly living on this cycle of tug of war, either there's this all or nothing scenario and you're catastrophizing life before it even happens, well, you get to be the person that takes responsibility to make those changes and stop waiting for tomorrow. Let go of the perfectionism. You already are enough. And it's from that place of making a choice, making a decision to show up from that place of if it's in service to my heart's highest good, if it's in service to the highest good of all parties involved. And this may look like not enabling patterns, letting go of the people pleasing to find that confidence in your yes and no for you to take back your power. And in taking back your power, you realize there's more than enough time to prioritize all of your needs. And we have three basic needs: co regulation, self regulation, auto regulation, and all of them get to be met. So I'm calling those passionate professionals into action. If you're ready to make changes, to overcome those stories of justification excuses, you're ready to believe in your ability to tap into your pure potential, I'm calling you into action. I'd love to be your guide. Now, I really wanted to share what were the main things that keep people stuck in a vicious cycle. So, the big question is, without making changes, you're going to continue to suffer with no hope of a silver lining. And, the definition of insanity is to do something over and over and again and to have the same experience, to get the same results. So, the more that you continue to reject what you need, what you reject will persist. And you're going to find yourself feeling that you need to force life to happen. And change comes from an organic shift. Change does not happen when we're hard on ourselves with our needs, our shoulds, our haves, all of our obligations, and the pressure that we put upon ourselves. So by choosing to remain stuck in a vicious cycle, you're going to experience whether it's poor communication, procrastination, a lack of boundaries, and we all know how stress impacts our health. Stress, that mind-body connection, inflammation is information. And, if our relationship with ourself is suffering, what we do in one way, we do in another. So it's so important to lead by example. So not only you can learn to love yourself, but you can also role model that for our future generations, for your loved ones, which those who've benefited from your lack of boundaries in the beginning may find that they're selfish, and it's actually quite selfless to honor yourself with love and compassion and to show up from a place of integrity and responsibility to pursue what you're passionate about and to be committed to your truth, because what one is true for another person might not be true for you. We all have different needs, and your needs most certainly get to be met, and you're the only one that's responsible for meeting your needs. How can you express your needs to another without understanding them for yourself first? So, health concerns is huge, and looking at that mental emotional layer is key to overcoming those layers of procrastination and unhealthy boundaries. And it's all connected. We are not separate. And it's when we're in that rhythm and when we're in that flow that we can be able to step back and allow life to just be what it is, to let go of the stories of the victim mindset, and that life is happening to you. Life is happening through you. And it's when you choose to become an active participant, you have the chance to create a shift. And it's through that layer of honesty and vulnerability, because we can all put on a mask and stuff it down. And it doesn't mean that we're going to feel any happier about it. So it's in those spaces of being able to bring acceptance to maybe the parts that we keep rejecting, the fear of saying no, the wanting to keep the peace to people please, or whatever else it looks like that robs you of your time to live your life and to live it in a way that is unique to you. We didn't come here to be like anybody else. We came here to be like ourselves. And you get to shine in that and to show up from a place of inspiration and to lead in a way that feels nourishing to your inner child. Because we've all had dreams. And, speaking on my own experience, as a kid, I wanted to be a pop star. And everybody had an opinion about that. And we can only give advice to others through the experience that we have had ourselves. And we live in a culture where I give great advice, but I never take it. So it's important that you take that time to start to come back home to your heart so that you can ask yourself the big question: What does that look like to you without making any changes? And you can also ask yourself and wonder, well, what does that silver lining look like too? Because you have the freedom. The human design is free will. You have the freedom to choose to go in any direction that you desire. You're not a tree. You're not stuck. Everything in life is temporary, which means it's your mindset, it's your perspective, it's your beliefs that you have around your situations and circumstances that keep you feeling stuck. And at the end of the day, we're always moving forward. So why keep waiting for tomorrow? Why keep waiting for that safety net of the perfect timing and not just be? Take that step, take that leap. Do the thing that feels uncomfortable if it's in service to your growth. Because what comes from that space is empowerment, your ability to choose and make choices for yourself and to show up from a deep place of integrity. Now that is worth it. So you get to ask yourself the big question. What is it that stands in the way? What am I waiting for? What is that safety net? What relationships uplift me? What relationships drain me? What deserves and doesn't deserve my attention? Where can you bring that connection to yourself? What are you asking for? Once you make the decision to make the choice that is in service to your heart's highest good, you begin to find confidence in your yes and your no. And the only way that we can master something in life is to make it a practice and to truly show up devoted and committed to feeling empowered in your ability to listen to your intuition. You become ready to be the author of your reality versus the victim to your circumstances. And in return, you begin to experience increased productivity and accomplishing your goals punctually and consistently. And it's through the art of slowing down, taking a moment to tune into what do you need? What is most in alignment with you right here, right now? What is true in the present? Not a part of yourself trying to control the outcome, and allow yourself to truly trust in releasing perfectionism, to trust in the process in the now, and to do all that inspires your heart moment by moment. So once you make the choice to choose to show up from that place of personal responsibility, it's not about going out and achieving anything outside of you. It's about coming from a place of deep responsibility for what already exists within you. Knowing that how you show up, if you can look yourself in the mirror at the end of the day and say that you gave it your best, that alone is enough. Allowing that victim mindset, the inner critic, to step aside and to hear your voice from a space of love and connection to kindness, compassion, acceptance, grace. In return, you're going to experience more inner peace around your decisions, around your ability to say yes, to say no. Yes and no is powerful. They're equally as important. And it's from that place of reframing, rewriting the story around what you believe to be true. We develop stories to protect ourselves, and that does not mean that that story of protection actually serves you today. Now, when I experienced being bullied when I was younger, I couldn't just leave my school and leave the environment. So it felt safer to make the assumption, to make the judgment around rejection, abandonment, right? Which at the end of the day, when I reject and abandon my own goals, my own sense of responsibility to do what brings me joy, the only person I'm abandoning is myself. So it's really about giving yourself the opportunity to really release and let go of the fears, the stories that no longer define who you are. Who you are is always changing and always growing. And following that place of inner knowing, to truly listen and come home to your heart. There is so much that you can achieve through being, through getting embodied in what is real, what is present, coming home to the now, pausing, slowing down, creating space for integration. Whether that is yoga or journaling or taking a bath or getting out in nature, whatever it is that fulfills you and pours into your cup, honor that. That is just as important as aiming to accomplish that tangible goal. It's about being with yourself, being with your process, being in relationship with yourself so that you can understand and hear that voice, to hear that inner guidance. Letting go of what you're trying to control to feel safe and secure and moving forward. No longer waiting for tomorrow and living for the now. Now, that will come when you begin to make that choice to choose you. Because when you choose you, you're choosing to be present for yourself, to give that gift to yourself, because your presence is the most powerful gift that you can offer. And if you can come home to that truth, that ability to see beyond the lens of separation and come home to connection, now that alone is success in doing all that inspires your heart by moment by moment. Working with me, you will discover the 5 shifts that need to happen in order for you to release those roadblocks that no longer serve you. I am very committed to helping those optimize their ability to set their day up for success by planning ahead, time blocking, and having healthy boundaries where flow meets structure. I think it's so important that we step away from this burnout culture and we allow ourselves to really embrace the joy, the simplicity, the pleasure that is always in the present moment. And it's through slowing down and beginning to respect your time, gaining a sense of security in your yes and no, knowing that there's more than enough time for you to prioritize doing whatever it is, whether you want to pick up a hobby or experience more solitude and spend more time out in nature, traveling, vacationing, having a career that complements your self expression. Whatever it is that you feel is authentic to respecting your time through kicking old habits to the curb and allowing yourself to invest in following your heart's reasons. Now, you're able to step forward in your life from a place of reasoning, being in commitment and devotion to your self love over your excuses. And sometimes our excuses do feel valid. Oh, I'm too tired. Oh, I have to do X, Y, Z. I have this obligation. And it's like, no, like we can change our mind and do things from a place of desire, a want. We don't need to do anything except honor what we need first, most importantly. And of course, show up from a place of love and compassion and kindness in the way that we relate to our relationships. And it starts with ourselves. So, really being able to kick those old habits to the curb, I'm committed to helping you discover what it means to truly gain a sense of security in your yes, your no, and to allow yourself to implement the boundaries to where you can feel more ease, more ebb, more flow, less force, less control, and allowing yourself to realize that the only thing that you have control over is yourself. And it all comes down to a matter of perspective. So I'm here to support you in truly investing in following your heart's wisdom. What you need to win is confidence in your yes and no, which requires courage. And courage will take you long and far. Your heart is a place of bold, brave, aligned action. And when you can come from that place of listening from your heart, ultimately you're honoring your intuition, your space of feeling, that place of curiosity, wonder, inner knowing. What you need to win is an ability to allow your inner child to dream big, to be the author of your reality, and to invest in that creative genius, to truly show up from a place of doing all that brings you joy. And it's through managing your time. You increase your productivity to accomplishing your goals consistently. And it's not about time blocking yourself to the point to where you're doing things ineffectively. It's not about multitasking and taking the world on and getting it all done. And it's about trusting that you let go of what needs to get done to feel safe and that you believe in your ability to accomplish all that you can do. And if it's 4 things that were done with so much presence, with so much heart, so much pride and joy, that is enough to take the pressure off of all of the needs, the shoulds, the haves, and to let that go, to allow yourself to surrender to what you really do need. And sometimes that might look like taking a break, pausing for inspiration, coming back to play, finding the joy, Listening to what you truly need moment by moment takes courage and a commitment to show up from that place. And it's in your ability to honor that place. The confidence in your yes and no will continue to strengthen. Just like we go to the gym and we work out our physical muscles, we also need to work out our ability to trust. And that's there at our heart, not in our head, not needing to think or analyze or find every scenario and solution forward, which most of the time leads us to catastrophizing this all or nothing situation. And how can we find those gray areas in life? How can we observe and take note from a place of being neutral and getting curious about what we can achieve instead of falling victim to those same old stories that tie us into those limiting beliefs that no longer truly do keep you safe? It it is up to you to make the change, to trust in your ability to invest in your yes or your no, seeing the value of all of your emotions, and to have the courage to sit and get vulnerable and honest and authentic with yourself so that you can truly show up from a place of desire and to let go of those patterns of obligation, let go of wearing the weight of the world on your shoulders, and to allow yourself to be free, to be seen, and to have fun, and to enjoy life, and to live lightheartedly. Life's not made to be easy, and there can be a lightness to it. There can be an accepting through the trusting and the surrendering, letting go of those expectations that we put upon ourselves, or the fear of the judgment of the failure, or the worry about what others are going to think, and spend more time investing in what we feel, not about what we think about ourselves, but how do we feel about ourselves? And how do we feel about ourselves from a place of connection to our heart, not holding on to that place of judgment or comparison based on past experiences? Allowing yourself to really explore, what do I need to win to achieve optimal balance in my health, my wealth, my love, my self-expression, and to see that is your commitment to love. That is your commitment to your deepest layers of self-acceptance. And when we can give ourselves what we need, we're more open and willing to hearing the needs of others. And it's through meeting ourselves first, most importantly, we're able to de-armor all those layers of protection, which allows us to relate to our relationships and our work environments in a different way. And this also goes for your hobbies, your communities, those other areas and avenues of self expression. Your health, your wealth, your love, your self expression are equally as important to your spiritual health and well being. Now, you always have a choice. You can either take responsibility for the role that you play or to fall victim to your stories and circumstances. You already are a testimony of your past choices, which means you can choose to see that there is a third way forward. And it's through taking responsibility for the role that you play, you begin to reweave a new story. You can turn to a new page and to truly show up for all areas of importance. You deserve to feel good enough to prioritize your needs in a way that mirrors your self expression, your heart's truest joys, and your limitless potential. You came here to be your own person and to live life to the fullest. You deserve to go for all that you desire and to do it in a way where your heart is the guide. Your heart allows you to shine the light on each footstep. If we allowed ourselves to only make all the choices from our mind, how can we allow and experience those synchronistic moments in life? We wouldn't be able to put ourselves in the right place at the right time and to have that divinely aligned, intervened conversation. So it's so important that we allow ourselves to take responsibility for what we need so that we can listen instead of forcing and showing up from a place of scarcity and uncertainty and how am I going to make it all happen and how is this going to happen and how should I do this and I need to know this and all of the answers. And where would the fun be if we knew every mile marker onto the way to the destination? What does that even mean, right? Our needs are always changing in any given moment. So, allowing yourself to embrace the journey and to just be an active participant in your day to day is enough for an organic change to happen. You don't need to know all the answers to make a tangible change in the now. All you need to do is to just honor what feels authentic and right to your heart. When you come from that place that the only thing that matters is what matters to my heart and what matters to being in service to love, whatever choice you make from that place is always going to be the right choice. It's our mind that determines if something is good or bad. And at the end of the day, it is what it is. So you can continue to fall victim to the stories of catastrophizing this all or nothing scenario and continue to wait and wait for tomorrow and to stay stuck in that rut. Or you can take responsibility and become the lead author in the story that you are creating in the now, in the present time. We can't really do anything about the future and we can't do anything about the past. All we can do is just be here and now and see that that alone is enough. When we can listen to our body, when we can get into our body and to be guided from that place of integrity, the body will tell you. You will feel it. You will know it to the core of your bones. It's not a place of analyzing and needing logic to assess if this is the right thing to do. And it's about really allowing yourself to feel that potential that comes from this space of aligned action. How I can help you is you will receive a comprehensive assessment on your current state of your health and your overall lifestyle. I provide a custom action plan that is designed specifically around your needs and what it means to you to pursue your passions on purpose. You can achieve balance in all areas of your life. You are worthy, you are whole, and you are enough to live your dream life in your health, your wealth, your love, your self expression. So it's through addressing all areas of the mind, body, soul, you are able to connect to your heart's wisdom. It's when we come from this place of our thoughts, our actions, our beliefs, when they all flow in the same direction, we truly get to shift from the impossible to the I'm possible. So I'm here to support you through a holistic perspective of your overall lifestyle, what it is that stands in the way, what barriers, what obstacles, what fears, what illusions inhibit you from being able to show up in a way that truly is in service to what feels nourishing to your purpose, to your passion, to what you feel called to serve in a day to day basis. And this can be what you desire to experience in your relationship with yourself, others, as well as your environments that you are surrounded in. So, if you are that passionate professional, I am calling you into action. If you're ready to experience less stress and to get off the cycle of burnout, and you're ready to live and experience your most authentic self in the now, I'm calling you into action. I'd love to support you and be a guide. I'm doing this to support and directing people in their ability to awaken what it means to tap into their own limitless potential, to begin to live for yourself, to live freely, to live wholeheartedly. And when you effectively show up for that place, you ultimately are allowing yourself to say, hey, I'm ready to attract more of that. So I'm inviting you to get into a conversation, book a consultation call with me. I'd love to connect with you and provide a custom action plan that is focused on supporting you in thriving. So if you're ready to get off that roundabout, you're done surviving, you're ready to truly embody the safety and the security that is your essence. You are safe, you are secure. You get to create that for yourself and feel that. You have the power to choose to go in any direction your heart desires. Book a call now. Your dream life is calling you home to wholeness. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Much love and gratitude.